This 26 Sports high school basketball presentation is presented by Cadillac Casting Incorporated.
Hey Simon, Morris Langworthy Jr. with you. Girls high school basketball game of the week. Cadillac Vikings and Traverse City St. Francis Gladiators. Fourth quarter just about to get underway. And a flurry of activity at the end of that third quarter has pushed this to a 21-point lead for the Glads, Morris.
I'll tell you what, the Gladiators really charged forward in that last minute of the third period.
Lauren McDonald with 6 points in that third quarter as the Vikings with a nice little play out of the inbounds there, but Pyle can't finish at the rim. Bramer inside for McDonald amidst the trees. 15-footer. Nope, they're going to say she shuffled her feet.
She was traveling.
As Kali Labonte making her first appearance in the game.
You know, I hope everyone out there has appreciated the alluring announcing that my co-host has done for us this evening. And, yeah, I know it's a little payback for that dulcet tones, you know. If you'd like to help sponsor any one of these games, feel free to contact the sales department at My News 26. We would love to bring more of these games to you, and we'd love to expand this program. Don't hesitate to call.
That's a great point. That's going to go off the Glads' feet. Vikings will get another shot. Gladiators. Bramer brings it up the right side. Pyle taps it away, but the
good
Vikings
hands just couldn't get it back.
Can't save it. Just underway here at Cadillac High School in the fourth quarter. Down low, double team. Smith, one dribble, picks it up. Labonte trying to post up down. No, nice look across the paint for McDonald, who lays it up and in.
Good hands. I'm surprised that Cadillac didn't draw the foul on that play, too.
Vikings break the press.
Nice
look.
pass.
Yeah, that was
nice
Emmington
pass.
for Pyle down low. Pyles neglecting to put the S on her name. Sorry about that. Liz. People add an S to my name, and I'm forgetting to add the S to Liz's name. That's not cool.
Jay, I'm as guilty as the next person for that S. But then again, I've always had a problem with that.
There's been a long history of Simons here.
Yes.
In Cadillac, it's not unusual. Anybody that's been around here a long time, I forgive them because I can understand that anybody with the last name Simon should have an S at the end. They probably
if it's of any consolation, more people put an S in Langworthy, and it sounds like Langsworthy than you'll ever imagine.
Barnes with a runner on the baseline, no good. Excuse me, Bramer, where I got Barnes from. Little over the timeline for the Vikings, spinning away. Knaus, baseline jumper, just off the mark. Strong rebound from Pyles, putback won't go. Christensen with the putback, and she'll lay it up and in. Kylie Christensen has a bucket in every quarter, and she's got 10 for the game. Just inside 6 minutes to go in the ball game. There's a nice steal by Knaus, and she's going to draw the foul as McDonald fell on her legs. Nice sportsmanship from McDonald, checking on Knaus to make sure she's all right. That's always a little scary when you get your legs run up on like that.
I'll tell you what. That is a little scary. One thing I do want to mention, though, is the sportsman-like conduct we've seen in this game has been exemplary.
Yep.
They have been sports persons and true ladies in their own right.
Gladiators have been such ladies in this game that they've yet to send the Vikings to the line for any free throws. Press again. John's looking for help, and we're going to get help in the form of a 30-second timeout from head coach Mary Kay Johns. 5:40 to go here in the ball game. Gladiators with a 43 24 lead. Well,
You know, the Vikings have been holding their own since that first period, but too little, too late, and we've seen a slight spread from the Gladiators and them capitalizing on this light momentum that you've seen that's given them up to this point a 19-point spread here in the last period.
well, one of the things about only having 8 players on the varsity is you don't really have a second unit per se.
True.
When the Gladiators bring out their substitutes, you're really using much of your first unit still against that second unit, and we've seen a little bit of that here as they do have outscored them 4-2 so far here in the fourth.
You know, in the very beginning, I predicted there was going to be an 8-point spread as opposed to a 19-point spread, and I really underestimated the height and ability of the Gladiators.
Johns with a
this.
great steal, and then finds Emmington to allow the Vikings to get into their half-court offense. Christensen trying to post up. Down low, amidst the trees. Kylie can't quite finish, and we're going to get a jump ball off the miss. Well, that is the Vikings' bread and butter largely, is that Michaela Johns, Kylie Christensen duo down low. Christensen has had some big games in her first 4. I know at least a 20-plus, 10-plus effort in one of them. But the Gladiators' defense has made it difficult to find her down low, and those attempts have been far and few between.
You know, it's also in this last period you're seeing more of a change-up in the Gladiator roster, and these girls are starting to show a lot of wear and tear on the Vikings by doing so. They're definitely moving them in and out more than they ever have.
Chenard's three-point attempt was off the mark, and then the battle for the rebound there. We're going to get a trip to the we're going to get a inbound for the Gladiators. Lyman will trigger. McDonald topside over to Bramer. Driving layup off the mark. You get the impression if the Gladiators were playing at home that more of those layups would fall at the friendly rim, right?
You bet. Is that what they mean by home court advantage?
There you go.
Friendly layups?
Yep. Vikings off the mark. Here come the Gladiators. Bramer, bounce pass. McDonald all alone for the lay-in. Lauren McDonald has 10 in this half.
Oh, my gosh.
And there's a near steal.
Yep. Tossed it right back to Emmington.
Little will bring it over the timeline for Johns. Down low to Christensen. And just off the mark. And Kylie expected more contact there. Emmington gets trapped in the corner. Johns will fire from the baseline. No good. Kleinsorge with the putback. Nicole Kleinsorge has 6. 3:45 to go in the game.
Cadillac's still showing a lot of hustle after 3.5 periods of play.
Chenard's 3 is no good. Lyman's jumper is no good, and then she never reestablished herself before grabbing that ball, so turnover will go to the Vikings.
You know, with an 8-man roster and 1 out from an injury, Cadillac is showing remarkable hustle at this stage of the ballgame.
Yeah, Coach Johns having to cycle them in there to give them short blows there on the bench, and you're absolutely right, Morris. There is no give up in the young ladies in the white jerseys tonight.
No, sir.
Christensen gets trapped, gets it to Little. Spinning away from Phillips, right into the hands of McDonald, but gets away from her. Piles down low for Christensen, and Phillips is going to get the block up top, but going to get her with the body down low. And so, with 3:21 to go in the game, Morris, we are going to see
Cadillac
that rarest of things,
yes.
free throws from the Vikings.
Yes.
And Kylie drains the first.
It's safe to say they're 100% from the line.
So far. Christensen drains the second.
Nice job by the Vikings.
A couple of good-looking freebies from the junior. 45-28, St. Francis. Dylan Kenitz checking into the game for the Glads. And there's Emmington with the steal. Emmington over for Kleinsorge. And Kleinsorge with the running. Oh, another spectacular finish after a foul, but again, they call it on the floor, so Kleinsorge doesn't get the finish. We saw one from Lyman for the Glads in the first half. Kleinsorge with that tough runner. That was Larry Burdish from behind the backboard.
You bet.
2:58 to go here in the ball games. Kleinsorge looking for help, finds Little up top. Little driving, gets fouled. 6th team foul on the Gladiators. One more, the Vikings will be in the bonus.
You know, surprisingly, the Vikings have showed very good hustle in this last quarter, and are doing a remarkable job of keeping up with the Gladiators. It's too bad they showed up a little too late.
There's a long 3-ball from Michaela Johns. First of the game for the Vikings, cuts it to 45-31 with 2.5 to go. Lyman, little hesitation dribble, and they're going to get her for a travel as she took an NBA stride into the paint.
Yep. You know, the sad part about it is they don't have that luxury here.
Nope, they do not. John's inbounds
Nice
pass
steal.
stolen by McDonald. Out for 3 from Lyman, no good. McDonald battling for the rebound. Can't finish, and Emmington comes up with it for the Vikings. 2:15 on the clock here in Cadillac. And they're going to get Emmington for a carry.
Yep.
Let that get a little high on her, I think, with the left hand.
She definitely wanted to run with that. She wanted to take her straight to the basket, and I think she had every opportunity to do so, too.
Phillips showing a nice handle, but she can't finish. Vikings the other way. Emmington over to Kleinsorge.
Nice pass off and
nice
shoots and
look.
scores.
Emmington with the nice distribution finds Kleinsorge for her 8th point of the game.
Yeah, the Vikings have done a very good job of bringing this back into within 12 points.
Nicole Kleinsorge slow to get up, ran into that pick by McDonald. McDonald's going to go to the line on the foul underneath. Hopefully Nicole is all right. It's always tough when you don't really see the pick coming. Your teammate's supposed to let you know that pick is there. Get the impression nobody said anything. So McDonald makes the first. McDonald has had a great second half. She's got 11, looking for her 12th point of this half.
And
I
didn't
jinxed
quite
her.
get it. Yep, you did.
I did. Rebounded by Little. 1.5 to go in the game. Little looking for a cutting Christensen. John, straightaway 3-ball, no good. Sophomore to sophomore, Bramer up to Chenard. Back to Bramer, long range 3, collected by Johns. Michaela Johns, the junior, stops, pops from 15 and buries it. Michaela Johns, Morris has got a nice stroke. She was impressed with her. She's been on the varsity, I think, since her freshman year. Definitely last year, I know, and she's got a nice looking jumper.
Yep. You know, I'll tell you what. It'd be interesting to see what would happen at this stage of the ball game if you gave the Vikings one more period.
Now, I think at this point, we got a 3-second violation on McDonald. So it'll give it back to the Vikings. I think at this point, the Vikings have no interest in playing another 8 minutes just from a sheer aerobic standpoint.
True. But I'll tell you what, they're outscoring the Gladiators in this last period.
Yeah, Lauren McDonald, the only Gladiator to score in this period. John's looking for somebody, and she's going to call timeout. That's going to be the last timeout for the Vikings. 40 seconds to go.
Well, they brought this back into single digits. Well, almost in single digits. We're 11. We had 11-point spread.
They're trying to get down to the 8 that you predicted at
Yep,
the beginning, just
exactly.
wrong side, right?
No.
Did you predict an 8-point Gladiator win? I
8-point
apologize.
Gladiator.
Okay. All I remembered was 8-point spread. I couldn't remember who you had said.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, given the record and the teams they had played in the past.
Yep. They do have one shared opponent this year. We never mentioned that. They both played Manistee, both lost to Manistee. Manistee 5-0 this year. Gladiators fell by 9. Vikings fell by 17.
Take a look at
Manistee.
take a look at those scoring those scores too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, both Manistee scoring similar points in both games. 51 against the Glads, 46 against the Vikings. But that's where I think the Vikings still kind of trying to find themselves. They're a very good defensive team. They play tough defense. They've done a pretty good job against this Gladiator team. Right now, only Manistee has held them to less points.
Yeah.
So, but they have struggled offensively against a very good defensive team in the Glads. It's a nice little back door and rejected by Phillips emphatically. Juliana Phillips going back to her volleyball days in the fall, spiking that out of bounds. It's a nice drive by Knaus. Phillips having none of it. It's a nice look by Christensen. We're going to get a travel by Knaus. It got tied up on her a bit, and then she just couldn't stop the momentum. That's a great look by Christensen, though.
Hey, Jay, let's give a shout-out to the staff real quick before we wrap this up tonight, and give credit where credit's due to the camera people and our director for bringing this to you. I'd like to say thank you to Hannah Crouch, our director, as well as our camera people. We've got Dakota Pike, Wyatt Van Dynen, and Rain Johnson-Hill. I'd like to thank those cameramen and our director for bringing this to you.
Yep, could not do it without them. A lot of hard work behind the scenes so that you can listen to Morris's dulcet tones. That
and
bucket by Christensen. That bucket by Christensen makes our final 46-37 as the St. Francis Gladiators come away with the non-conference win here at Cadillac High School. We will compile some statistics and have some final thoughts, perhaps a quick chat with head coach Keith Haskey as he comes back out of the locker room from Cadillac High School. 46-37 your final. We'll be back right after this. You're watching. I'm so used to listening, Morris. Yeah. You're watching Girls High School Basketball Game of the Week on My News Sports.